Everybody, and welcome to the All Random All Podcast, starring me, Victor. That's right, Victor, the best Victor, the real Victor, and definitely the only Victor you should be listening to. And this week we have people on the show. We have people on this show. Can you fucking believe that? We have people on the show. First and foremost, in the camera one slot, we have Thribblemint.
Hello, peoples.
And he's got himself He's got himself a fancy background to make himself look plain and creepy. He kind of blends in a bit too with that jacket. So he's almost a floating head if it wasn't for lights and shadows and it not being the exact same tone and
almost kind of
travel not being flat. In the camera 3 position, because we don't have a camera 2, that's how I've sorted out the OBS sort of stuff. We have Modbro.
Bulla.
And as per usual, he does have a wall behind him, and apparently can... Oh, yeah, what are you doing? He apparently can make a boxing crocodile, which is...
No, this is my blue screen.
That's your blue screen? Oh, okay.
Look, hang on. Now I'm in Paris! Can you see that?
No.
Hang on. I'll put the space up behind me. I'll put the space up behind me.
Actually,
are you suffocating? Oh my god, that's amazing.
Actually,
Jeez.
I was in Paris all along.
I'll just open my window here.
I'll change it back to Fiji.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, right?
Cool. Welcome back.
Fiji's looking awfully white this year.
Yeah.
Must just be the glare.
It's horrible.
Yeah, the weather's not too good. It's very grey no matter where you go. And in the image slot, because he does not have a camera and probably never will, BMG.
I will get a camera, sir. How dare you?
That's what he thinks.
And I'm doing the thing that everyone did, with their arms. You just can't see me, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, he's also in space and Paris and Fiji all at the same time.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't have a camera. I'm actually in space right now, and am dying, so I don't want you guys to see that.
Yeah, and this week he's represented by both mine and his Swartor characters.
Making out.
Hissing.
And they're about this close from making out. We came out of a dialogue. We just popped up that close to each other, and we just took the picture.
We just took it from there.
It was a fine moment.
Took our feelings where they needed to go.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Takes us back to one of the last episodes that I missed out on. I missed out on the whole gay marriage episode. I'm a little bit upset about this.
Yeah, and I'll let you talk about that in a second.
No, I don't want to talk about that. I just want to say I'm upset because
Okay.
I'm a very proud brother of a gay sister. So, I would have liked to have my say.
Oh, you can have your say if you want. I'll give you a couple minutes. Go up, Robert. Have a couple minutes. Say what you want to say.
Oh, don't put me on the spot like that. I've got nothing to say.
Okay.
Alright, so that was Modbro's section.
That was a brilliant introduction.
That was
Let's
Modbro's
move on.
feeling about the same-sex marriage situation.
He's
No, I will say
feeling
my
not
stuff
very...
later. I'll let you do your intros and stuff first, and then I'll have a bit of a say.
I'm going to get into a little bit of maintenance, as per usual. Got to do a little bit of maintenance,
Love maintenance.
Keeps the viewers knowing what the shit's going on with us. Where the hell is Scott? Because this week we have no Scott. Scott, he's not here because we've changed the recording day. Typically we used to record on Fridays. We are now recording on Sundays to better suit everyone. Modbro for his wifey, because she's a bit more important than the podcast. And
True.
And Bo's getting up earlier on Saturdays now, so...
Mm-hmm.
There was a sneeze coming there. So we changed it to Sundays, which will hopefully better suit everyone. Doesn't better suit Tribal, but we don't really care too much about Tribal.
Apologies, bro.
Yeah, he made it anyway.
I'll just fall asleep here.
Yeah, and Scott, who said that Sundays are actually better for him, has not shown up this week again.
No, you probably wouldn't have. I actually tuned in and watched him do Smite casting for the last couple hours. and he goes at it hammer and tongs, so he's probably got no voice left.
Well, what's actually happened is he's doing his Smite podcast now. So
Oh,
I
that
think
son of a
I think he
bitch.
was doing his Smite cast, and now he's gone over to do his Smite podcast, so we won't have him this week.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because there's like 20 people who fucking host this show. But whatever. At least he told us this time, hey. Instead of, logging into Smite and playing Smite, instead of coming on the show. You remember that, don't you, Bo? And try.
I was there. Can confirm.
That was pretty great.
Did happen.
So,
It's almost as good as a random mod bro calling him completely drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
I deny all charges.
I have no
I have
memory
it
of
recorded.
this.
Yeah, I can honestly say that I remember nothing of this event.
Yeah. So, as expected, with changes in recording days, there are also going to be changes with release days. I had been releasing the podcast through the week because I was having trouble getting them out on the weekends. That's probably going to stay the same. However, the audio-only recording, that's without a doubt going to be affected. Because I don't see Tribal getting a podcast out on Saturday when we're supposed to be recording on Sunday.
Well, I'm doing it a week, so
Well, yeah, but...
See what happens.
it depends on what time I have to edit. Every second Saturday,
Normally,
I'm kind of busy,
normally
so.
you record over the weekends. Normally you edit over the weekends, and now you've
Yeah.
lost an extra weekend.
Well, we can
Yeah.
we can confirm that or whatever next week because we'll know what happens.
Yeah. Well, this one's going to be late anyway because I didn't get Diesel's audio over until fairly late, so... And I'm fighting with some audio issues.
Yeah,
Well, not this one. Last week's one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So by the time you watch this one, last week's one may or may not be out
Yeah.
on the audio.
Anyway, and the last point we have to bring up in maintenance is the whereabouts of Modbro for the last couple of weeks, who was having a lovely time. Modbro, tell us about your adventures in the Fiji.
Ah, that's right. I was actually trying to wonder where I was. Went off to Fiji. It's my first trip, my bubba's little first trip overseas, so that was cool. Little baby photo and all. Off to a wedding. Got absolutely blind. Was the groomsman for one of my best mates, and then while we were sitting at the pub after the wedding, on the like a luau deck over the water of the beach, we're sitting there just blind, and my phone starts going bloop bloop bloop. Like, oh, what's that? Ah, that's right. It's time for the podcast because 11 o'clock over there is 9 o'clock here. I'm like, hey guys, you want to be on the podcast? Here we go. And we had a bit of fun with it, and I think I got in trouble a little bit. I got kicked off the Skype call for about a week, and I had to send flowers and a suitcase of money to Victor to get back on the podcast. So he's alright. Tribal, he told me that you'd get your share. You've got it alright? Did he give you your share
No,
of the
I
money?
haven't gotten any of this yet.
What? It was like $10,000 was your share. Vic,
Oh,
I gave you
jeez.
the money.
Well, I mean, I hate to be this kind of guy, but...
He's gone. It was all a ruse, the whole thing.
I spent all the money on hats.
Oh, well, money well spent, mate.
I saw that coming.
I'm actually, no joke, this is
I
actually
thought you'd
serious.
just done a runner.
This is actually serious. I've decided for the future of me that I need to buy an Oshenka, which is those winter Russian hats that they all wear.
I know the one. Yeah.
And I also want to get a Soviet badge on the front of it.
You're talking like Soviet bloody Sejuani sort of hat.
Yes, I'm getting one of them.
Communist Russia.
I'm gonna get one of them. So now, anytime when I'm on when I'm doing a video show like myself, whenever Victor slips out, I'm gonna put the Ushenka on. So on the last Oslo, I did a little bit of Victor because they asked I had this conspiracy theory about Arden Censor and the buffs to Spirit Visage.
I actually just listened to that today.
And I was like, I have conspiracy about Rito games. So now, whenever I do that, I want to put on the Ushenka and then start talking. So I think...
So you're going to have some serious split personality disorder.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. As long as that's the go.
That's what I want to do. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the maintenance section of the show.
It only takes a solid 10 minutes.
Yeah, one day we'll get through that. Nice. One day we'll be able to
Slightly
get
more
through that.
efficient than most podcasts I listen to.
Yeah, one day we'll get through that so quick. You're just gonna be like, okay, we did a bunch of things, and that's the maintenance, and we'll be done. No
I don't
problems.
believe that's ever going to happen.
Probably not. So we're going to get into some topics today. Believe it or not, we are actually going to get into some topics. I actually want to tell a story first because I went to a trivia night last night, and this is good we didn't record on Friday because I went to a trivia night last night. I was dragged to it, and I did it, and it was actually kind of fun. But I entered a raffle, right? And I won the raffle. You wouldn't believe this. I actually won the raffle. And I got this awesome, awesome prize, which I was very excited about. You should have seen it, and I was telling everyone about it. I called Bo up and told him what it was.
You sure did.
But I got a couple of vouchers, and it's for $50, and it says I got to call this chick, and I can actually use this voucher for $50. It's from Love Intimo. Love Intimo. You ever heard of Love Intimo?
No.
Isn't that the transsexual loving service?
I'll read out to you.
Love Intimo, as in like moustaches and.
Yeah, I'm gonna read to you I'm gonna read to you real quick what it says.
Can we all have a guess at what it is?
Okay, tribal.
I'm out already.
Okay.
I think I can have the best
Bo
guess.
already knows what it is.
I think it's a moustache enthusiast prostitute.
Sex.
Okay. From a trivia night, they give out prostitute vouchers.
Depends on what sort of trivia night it was.
Yeah, like
it was funding. It was a trivia night that was put in place to fund a choir going to Canberra to compete.
That
Okay.
explains the gift.
Let me read it to you. Ready? Enjoy a professional, one-on-one bra fitting service in the comfort of your own home. Get the girls together for a fun night of lingerie and loungewear styling and treat yourself to our fabulous hostess rewards. Beautiful lingerie and loungewear in sizes 30A to 46G and 6 to 24. Book an Intimo styling session today. And that's
Intimo. Yeah, no, cool.
Yeah, so I won a $50 voucher. I won
For a bra fitting show.
I won a $50 voucher
No,
to wear a bra. There you go. That's backwards,
There you
but
go.
you know.
You got pretty
Yeah,
much you got
that
free
comes up right on my
$50
screen.
to wear a bra.
Yeah, how about that?
Nice. I think.
Interesting.
So I don't know what I'm going to do. People were telling me to give it to my mum,
Yeah.
and that feels kind of weird.
That's
Does
kind of
your mum-
awkward.
Yeah, it is awkward.
Hey, mum, you want some
No,
lingerie?
it's
You can have
not.
$50 of lingerie, mum. Yeah, okay.
And also, it gets fitted.
Yeah.
I would fully advise at least get someone to use it because
Would you like
I
it?
didn't actually know about this whole like bra fitting thing. Apparently Australians have it all wrong. My wife went to America, like when we went for our honeymoon, we went to Hawaii and she got a professional bra fitting and it's changed her life.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But anyways, so definitely use it.
Does your wife want a professional bra fitting?
Yes, I will use that.
You will use
Does it work in up our area or do we have to go to Melbourne?
I don't know.
Probably.
Okay, let's do this afterwards. But yes, I'll
I might
take
be
it.
able, I don't know if I can just give you. I don't know. Like
We'll do it
I might have to post the voucher to you.
Congratulations on the bra fitting.
It's a fucking flimsy piece of paper that says $50 on it.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Prob's not even real.
If I can get it to you, I probably will. But anyway, that's
Just
my
some
little,
old
moving on.
TV guy comes over.
that's my little story. I thought everyone might like that, but we're gonna get into some topics real quick. It's gonna be slightly less of a gaming.
Big
It's
story undocumented. It was literally. Okay, go for it. Sorry.
slightly less gaming topic we're gonna go into, but we're Tribal watched the first episode of Dragon Ball Super. Now, there's actually a bit of Dragon Ball stuff. Dragon Ball's on the way back in, apparently. I watched the trailers for the Resurrection one, where they're bringing back Frieza, which to me looks kind of cool, but I feel like it's more of a money grab than anything. But I'll have to watch it for myself. I mean, it is Frieza, and the whole Frieza. I mean, some people talk about how cool Super Buu or Cell was, and all this sort of shit. And while I agree, yeah, Cell was fucking awesome, the whole Frieza saga. When I watched through Dragon Ball Z, because I did a big marathon of it once, I walked out of it thinking after Frieza, it sort of went downhill. Wow. You serious right now?
Okay, I'm just going to talk to the listeners here. People that aren't watching the YouTube, Tribal just broke his own neck in some sort of crazy Japanese suicide ritual, and he's just laying on the table now, and blood slowly dripping out of his nose. I'm not quite... Does anyone know his address? Can we... Bo, stop laughing. It's not a... Oh my
All right,
god.
I'll give him a call. Let me just dial the number. Beep boop 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 boop. Hey,
Yeah, I'm
your
fine.
husband's dead.
Oh my god! Oh my god, he's dead! Trevor's dead!
Thank
Oh my
God! Thank God! I can take all his money.
Alright, anyway. Yeah, keep going, sorry.
So I legitimately thought Dragon Ball Z got worse after the Frieza saga, because the whole Frieza thing felt a bit more realistic. Like, Frieza was a space tyrant, and he had a whole army, and he controlled most of the fucking universe. And then Goku came and challenged him, and, you know, and sort of made amends with Vegeta and all this shit, and I thought it was really cool. I think it really peaked around Frieza, and then slowly dropped off after then.
I mean, GT was an absolute pile of crap.
Cell was still really awesome, and Boo wasn't quite as awesome, but you really felt where it went downhill when Boo showed up. And then and then you hit GT, and it never happened.
GT never happened. What do you
GT
mean? What
never
is
happened.
GT?
Yeah.
Don't know what GT.
GT is a write-off.
So, in terms of, hey, it's Frieza, and it looks like his whole fucking army is back too, I'd probably be all over
Yeah, I
it.
know. That seems really weird, though. I feel as though Goku should just kick their asses because of the God. It is placed after the God movie, like where he actually becomes a god or whatever.
Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, see, he should just instantly win because he goes Super Saiyan God form. We saw it in the trailer.
Yeah,
So,
but I think it's sort of
instantly.
like Frieza's super pumped up on some effect as well, so
He's got some serious steroids pumped into him.
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for Dragon Ball Z, it got hard because Frieza was supposed to be the strongest dude in the universe, and now we've beaten the strongest dude in the universe, so we're just gonna make some shit up now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after Frieza, they just went, well, what's the point of power levels? Because these are completely and absolutely arbitrary. I mean, I think they were arbitrary from the start. But...
Well, that's what they were trying to show you with the whole power level system. They were trying to show you how insignificant the power levels really were and how they meant nothing.
Yeah.
And that's really the point of power levels. But I mean, it kind of got weird after Frieza, and it was just like, okay, we don't have a big cool villain tyrant. Let's just make more villains. And
yeah, I mean, the end of Cell was really good with Gohan. Like, that epic battle of Gohan versus Cell was pretty damn big.
Yes.
But, yeah.
The problem with Dragon Ball is it doesn't matter whether the end fights are good because the fights are always good. It's where the middle parts they have to not be shit.
Less
like
filler.
I agree with that. I'm pretty sure my favorite character is Hercule. Is that his name?
Hercule Satan.
No.
Hercule fucking Satan.
Yeah, he's called Satan in the actual Japanese version. He's called Hercule in English.
He's
literally called
that
Mr.
guy's
Satan.
Awesome.
Mr. Satan.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he was.
He's like a Fabio type.
He is actually very prominent in the first episode of Dragon Ball Super. Very prominent.
Yeah, well, he became a very important character during the Boo saga.
Yeah, I loved him. He's like comic relief,
which
but
is
still...
really what I like, because he sort of showed up and he was this arrogant, thought he was the best, but he really wasn't much. Well, he was the best martial artist on Earth in terms of Earth people status, who were in that
except for like Krillin and
Toad. Well, Krillin and all them were better, but like compared to like Earth's heroes,
standard mortal. Yeah.
Earth's heroes, like he was fucking nothing.
Yeah.
But I think he was good because having him sort of show the worth of people when he turned Boo good and when he convinced all of Earth to actually support Goku.
Yeah.
Even though it was under the shadow of, this is totally me doing all the stuff here. You guys just give me all your power. Just stick your hands in the air. Come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sounded pretty good, actually.
Go ahead, Tribal. just...
I'll do a quick rundown of the episode, and I will say right here, if you want to watch the episode, skip this part because I'm going to spoil the shit out of it.
Okay, and I'm not going to watch it, so you're going to have to tell me where we're up. Is this a continuation from somewhere?
This is a continuation from the God movie, Super Saiyan God. So you got cool. Biru, I believe it's Biru, who is basically... Well, you know who the Kais are? Biru is basically, I own the fucking multiverse level power of bullshit level. He kind of looks like an Anubis.
Yeah.
She's the Anubis fella.
Yeah. So anyway, basically, it starts off, Goku is a fucking turnip farmer. Not joking, Goku is a turnip farmer. He's ploughing the fields on a freaking plough. Like, I'm sitting there going... This guy has enough power, he could clear the fucking fields in 2 seconds. Why is he driving a bloody tractor? Goten brings out his lunch. He lets Goten jump on the plow while he eats his lunch, and then starts training while Goten is driving the plow, and Goten almost drives the plow, well, actually does drive the plow off a cliff because he's distracted watching Goku train. It then zooms out, and there's this one track where Goku... It's really twisted where the plow's been, and then about 20 blown up holes where Goku's been training. And they're basically like, you haven't been doing a very good job, have you? But basically, the synopsis of it is, Chi-Chi's told Goku he needs to make some money, because they have none. And Goku took the job as a turnip farmer.
Jesus.
I mean, I was going to say, like, it kind of makes sense that Goku is farming, because they kind of lived in the middle of nowhere. During Dragon Ball Z, and I always wondered how the fuck Chi-Chi was able to support her family when literally all they did was fight aliens.
Yeah, it kind of references that the Ox King was still funding them to a degree, but they're saying he doesn't have much left either. But yeah, it moves from that into Goten and Trunks are trying to find a wedding gift for Videl because she's getting married to Gohan. They proceed to go into a jewelry store, see the prices, leave. They then go into a cosmetic store, see the prices, go, no. There's a guy there that is also chucking a fit about the prices, who basically says, the hot springs out the back of my place are better for the face, are better for the skin than any of the stuff in here. So Goten and Trunks then decide to go to the hot springs to collect water because that's obviously far better than any cosmetics. They then get in a random fight with a snake the size of fucking Dragon, because random fight with snake. Collect the water and then give it to Videl. And Videl's kind of like, oh, this is so sweet. She's putting it on, she's like, this is just water. Thank you!
Your camera's gone out, Mod. Mod? Did you hear me, Mod?
Yeah, I think he's reloading it.
Yeah, he's got it. Alright.
Yeah, it then jumps to Hercule. Hercule's actually in a big press conference about, like, hey, the world is still safe and the universe is safe and yay, this is awesome. And Boo fucking walks out going, I'm hungry. And Hercule's like, oh shit. Can you just go away for a second? It's like, I'm hungry. And he manages to convince the reporters that this is his disciple, that he is training. It is a guy who's come from across the universe to be trained by him. And then just manages to get Boo outside and says, I'm going to have to call this press conference short. Walks outside and he's just in there apologizing to Boo over and over again. Like, I'm sorry, don't kill me.
Oh, Jesus.
Gotta love Hercule.
Classic Hercule. But Hercule taught Boo that killing is bad.
Yeah. But Hercule, the press conference was because Hercule got awarded the prize for being the savior of peace for the world or something along those lines.
Yeah.
He got basically $100 million out of that. He turns up at Goku's farm, walks up to Goku and says, you deserve this. And Goku's like, oh, I couldn't take the money. And Goten's right there going, Dad, take the money. Then Chi-Chi will let you go train. He's like, wait, what? I can go train? Yeah, just take the money. He's like, oh, okay. He basically takes the money, gives it to Chi-Chi, and Chi-Chi's just going, "Oh my god, I can get Goku into the best school ever! Oh my god!" And Goku's like, "So, can I go train with King Kai now?" Yeah, go. That's basically the end of the episode.
Oh god.
It's basically Chi-Chi going, "Oh my god, I've got so much money!" Oh,
You know what
and
this
Master Roshi
episode-
bursts in. Master Roshi bursts in and goes, "You just got $100 million. Do you know how much porn you can get for that?" And Chi-Chi just turns around and goes, Get out of my house!"
Okay, Dragon Ball Z's got a little bit different since I watched it. I can't remember that many porn
I'm
references.
sure it didn't.
Roshi
no.
was always a pervert.
Roshi
He was always a pervert. Oh yeah, he did used to read the magazines, didn't he?
Yeah.
Always had a porno.
Jeez, that was on at like 7.
Yeah. That was a kid's show.
Roshi's,
How the hell did they get away with that?
Roshi's my favorite character, man. I like when Roshi took it seriously. Like that's when he was really cool because he was like he's this clumsy, pervy old fucking bloke, and then he might show up as Jackie Chun, and you think, oh, he's fucking good. Or like when Piccolo was the big bad guy, you know, he was trying to fight Piccolo and he failed.
Piccolo
and was
was
like,
awesome.
damn, I failed, and then he died or whatever happened. I was always a big fan of Roshi. But you know what that episode was? That episode was the promise of a good series, not the start of one. That was like...
Yeah, that was a filler.
That was like, guys, we're gonna get onto some serious Dragon Ball first. It was like Chi-Chi actually came to life and grabbed the producers by the balls and said, my Goku is not gonna go train. So they went through all this fucking bullshit mumbo-jumbo to try and get Chi-Chi $100 million so Goku could go and do cool things.
It does show one other thing. It shows Biru on an entirely different planet, and he's basically been served up like the most rich food they can serve him. And he tries a bunch of things, goes, well, it wasn't horrible. I'll just destroy half. And literally destroys half the planet.
Wow.
And then leaves.
So it's like...
And you're like...
So it's just like this semi-sphere of a planet.
Yeah, I was actually there going, how is that not crumbling to pieces?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, gravity and, you know, all
Like,
those things.
there is a legit end of the world, like, edge of the world, like what they used to think. Like, you go
Yeah,
past
like
the world
he
is
legit
flat.
he literally turns a sphere into a half sphere.
Wow.
That'd be awesome. Can we do that?
Our world's in enough trouble already. We don't need to
Let's just try.
I think it'll
Explosive.
fix it, to be honest.
Let's try. We'll just
Get rid of
remove
those
humans
damn
off it.
We'll
humanoids.
keep the southern hemisphere. So we'll keep all of Australia and a little bit of South America. That's what we'll
And
do.
That's
make
about
sure
it.
we don't have New Zealand, right?
We'll
How are
find
we
out.
gonna
I
do
mean,
that?
we all love New Zealanders, yeah. Nah.
New Zealanders are good. They're our friends. Just bide time until earthquakes take them all out. We'll be sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, see, if you take out the Northern Hemisphere, you take out Japan, which means you take out anime, so I'll be kind of disappointed.
Hey,
And
go
also,
with
you
them if
take
you
out
want.
America and Japan and China and
I
all
don't
the
care about America.
good games.
America-
Europe
oh.
and Russia and the North Pole, so no more fucking Santa Claus.
I could be the best
sure he
skater in
can
the
do
So
world.
basically, the LoL World Championships would be like Kaboom versus Chiefs.
Yeah, probably. Is Brazil in the southernmost?
We've got
part?
this one, boys.
Is
We've
Brazil,
got it.
is Brazil in the southernmost part of... No, Brazil's not in the southernmost part of South America, though. Brazil would go with the Northern Hemisphere, wouldn't it?
I thought
I
it was
don't know.
like the equator.
Equator and stuff, you know how it is.
Ecuador's on the equator.
Anyway.
Stop.
Anyway, cool candies.
Cool candies.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
It was like, what?
Oh, no, that's cool. Alright, I like that more.
No,
That's
one
great.
Thing, actually, the one thing that did convince me, because I do actually really want to watch that Frieza Resurrection thing, is that Roshi's fighting.
Mm.
And it showed in the trailers Roshi go on fucking big mode.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my favorite parts of the original Dragon Ball series was when he went fucking big and he's like... And he took out the fucking moon. He was like that was his big
Not the
solution.
moon, he took out the mountain. He destroyed the mountain that was in flames the very first time he went big.
Oh, well, that was the first time he went big, but I also liked when he took out the moon because Goku went full ape mode. And
Oh,
he was
okay,
gonna,
I don't
and he
think
was
I've seen
gonna,
that.
and he was gonna trash the fucking martial arts.
Yeah,
arena.
that's right. I remember that.
Mm.
And this is when he was Jackie Chun because Jackie Chun is my favorite character in the whole Dragon Ball series. So
which is just Master Roshi.
So
with a
by
big
extension, Roshi is my favorite character. And he went for... I remember that, like, he's just fucking huge, and he's just... like that exhale, and I'm like, oh my god. So cool.
Jizz in pants.
So, and there was one thing that always made me very spiteful of Dragon Ball Z, is how useless Krillin and Master Roshi were.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest part about them is, except for Krillin, because he's just a piece of shit. But like, with Roshi, he wouldn't be as good if he just like was always, I'm gonna be tank. If he's just basically like, he'd just be Goku. Whereas the fact that he doesn't do anything, and then at very, very specific times he does stuff, it's like, oh yeah, shit's going down.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything through the entirety of the Dragon Ball Z series.
Yeah.
I remember there was one movie. It was the Metal Cooler movie, where Roshi was like, "I'm gonna start fighting," and he punched one of the metal fucking coolers, and he like broke his hand. And that was the like, if we consider the movies Dragon Ball Z, that's the only time Roshi ever did anything other than sit on his ass and look at pretty girls.
Mm.
To be honest, I would like
Pretty
to
good
sit
life.
on my ass and look at pretty girls.
Maybe you might, but I don't want to watch Roshi do that for the entirety of the series.
I do.
I mean, like, the thing is, like, even Tien and Chaozu sort of had some reference. I mean, Tien came out big in the Cell Saga, just for a short moment, but he came out big.
See, well, I mean, like, because he showed up and he was fighting version 2 Cell, and he was doing his thing, and he just kept piling down on it. I remember when they were talking about this fucking move in the original series, and it's like it shortens your life every time you use it. And now he's on top of Cell going, ha! 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 Just using it over and over again. Actually, I think it was like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever, and Cell's like, oh, it fucking hurts, man. And he's like vaporizing the fucking ground in this triangle shape. And I'm like,
Did you ever look at it? He doesn't actually make a triangle, he makes a rectangle. It never makes sense.
I can't remember how he shaped
No,
it.
the shape of his hands
I'm looking
was a
at it right
triangle.
now.
The hole in the ground was a square or a rectangle.
Yeah, it was too, wasn't it?
It was like...
Yeah. But like...
Well, reasons,
I always...
you know?
Cause I always got upset that, like, I don't care about Yamcha. Yamcha can suck a dick, but, like, Krillin stopped doing anything. Even that fat dude that showed up in the original Dragon Ball series. Yajirobe. Like, he was strong enough to kill, like, Cell's kids, which no one fucking else was, which was, like, oh my god, Yajirobe's worth something. Yajirobe wasn't worth anything in Dragon Ball Z.
He also chopped off,
Vegeta's tail. Yeah. Like, the only
then
time...
ran for his life.
Actually, you know what? That was a really fucking good episode, because Yajirobe's like, yeah, I'm the leader of Earth's heroes. Give me all your food. And, like, they're feeding him, and they're giving him all this stuff, and they're like, are you gonna go and kill the Saiyans now? And he's like, no, these Saiyans are risky stuff. I'm gonna need some extra special preparation. To the, fucking noodle shop or some shit. And they'd all just buy him food and give him money and all this shit. And I was like, oh my god, Yajirobe's so cool. So Yajirobe became very useless. Roshi did nothing the whole series. Yamcha became very useless.
Yamcha just disappeared.
He did. Tien and Chaozu weren't much.
Mm.
And Vegeta was up there, and Piccolo was kind of up there. But, like, it was always, they try and do something, but they were never quite good enough. Let's go get Goku.
Yeah. Basically, they were the Team B.
Yeah, and then eventually Piccolo gave up, and that's which
after
upset me
the
as well.
whole. No, he
because he was only good enough to beat Cell 1, and Vegeta was only good enough to beat Cell 2, and so Gohan and Goku were the last resorts for Perfect Cell. And then Majin Buu came along, and Piccolo was like, "Well, I'm done here." But Vegeta was like the only one who kept trying to stay up there with Goku, and so
that's because Vegeta refuses to ever be beaten.
Yeah,
he's like, "Fuck you! I will still be better."
Yeah, well,
I think Vegeta was pretty much everyone's favorite character until like Trunks and people like that started coming along when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Gohan was always mine, to be honest.
Yeah,
because there's
Gohan's
always that hidden power ratio always kept me going. I like the concept of build-up power.
Yeah.
No, I loved all that
I
stuff.
just
I
usually
just hated
like
him being a
second best.
whinger.
Yeah, I always liked...
In the early ones, he was such a whinging bitch, but
He
got
was.
better.
After Roshi, it was Piccolo for me.
Drop
Because
kick him.
I liked how when Goku got taken out in the fight versus his brother,
Raditz.
Raditz, yeah, that's the one. Piccolo took on training Gohan, and he was like, "Fuck you, Chi-Chi," and he just took Gohan away. And,
He didn't even say that. He flew away before she got there.
Yeah, well,
Something like that.
yeah.
It's basically
He left a note.
time.
He left a note. Dear Chi-Chi, fuck you. Green Piccolo dude.
the pickle.
And he chopped off his finger and left it there.
Good thing he just
Threw one
regrow
back.
it.
She's like, is this his middle finger? Son of a bitch.
He would have. He could cut off his whole hand and give that to her because he could just grow back.
He sits there, make sure the rigor mortis sets in.
Yeah. Because I like Piccolo because I liked how he came good. Because he was he was there with Gohan. He was like, I like Gohan. I hate Goku, but I like Gohan, and that's sort of what turned him good.
Yeah, because he was only training Gohan in the first place, because he's like, we're gonna need something to fight.
And you're strong.
You actually managed to hurt that guy. We couldn't even do that. There's something power in you.
That was another good episode. Where they took out Raditz. Special beam cannon! And that was the last time Piccolo was useful for anything.
But even then, Goku had to be there to help him.
Have you played any of the video games for Dragon Ball Z? Like
very,
fighting games?
very minimal amount of them are good. I like the. I played.
Oh, they're horrible. They're horrible.
My mate's
there's
actually
a
got
couple-
Xenoverse, which is the newest one.
Yeah, I wanted to
Apparently
get
that's
Xenoverse.
a
It
lot
looks really
nicer.
cool. Yeah.
I've only played the old ones, but I used to love playing Piccolo because it was hilarious. Because whenever anyone attacked you, one of his moves was like a counter, so he'd block and his arm would fall off, and then he'd grab them. And I just thought it was the dumbest move. Like they'd do like a little girly kick, and you'd block it, and your arm just falls off. And I'm like, this is the worst move I've ever seen in a game. Oh, so good.
The earlier ones were pretty shit, and then I think they came out with.
There was a PS2 one that was really good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There was a PS2 one that was really good, and then they rebooted that on Xbox 360, PS3, as like a second one. I think that was really bad, but the one that came alongside that in the same year was the really good one. I think. I can't remember. I played them all, so. Except for Xenoverse. I was so hyped for Xenoverse, and then it came out, and I was like, it costs like $60, $70, and I've got about 12, and I owe someone $700.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
The usual bow stuff.
Yeah, of course. So there you go. Dragon Ball Z, anyone else got anything they want to say about it?
No, that's me.
Cool.
I had nothing to start with.
Cool. I just want to say that Dragon Ball Originals all the way. Fuck you, Dragon Ball Z lovers. I'm all about the original series. Let's move
See
on.
how Kai comes out. Super. See how Super comes out.
Yeah, wasn't Kai the remake of Z?
Kai was a remake of Z, yeah. Kai's a lot nicer than the original, because there's none of that crappy filler.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they remade the original series, and they were a bit careful about the... Actually, I don't think they showed off, because Goku's penis was in the original series.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Like, they were showing off his kid penis. And
Like as a separate character?
No.
Hi,
Like,
kids!
Goku would run around naked, and his dick would just be dangling around, like this tiny little baby dick. And,
his tail?
And,
Yeah, the
and
tail.
there was also a lot of him, not him. There was also a lot of like suggestive
Bulma?
stuff about Bulma.
Oh yeah,
There's-
poor Bulma.
But they still kept in this one bit where Roshi was like, "Yeah, I'll help you if you show me your panties." And she just pulls
I
up her
remember
dress and goes, "There it is, you fucking old creep!" And Yoshi does that anime thing where blood spurts out his nose. And he's like, "Ah!"
Nosebleed, yeah.
Yeah, they can't really remake those because they're so over the top weird shit. Like, if a kid watched
they're
that now,
from
they'd
that
be
era.
like, "What is this, man?"
Yeah.
Why
They're
not?
from that era. It's like the old Tenchi Mio and stuff like that. Like, I own Tenchi Mio.
Yeah.
I watched that as a kid. I am not showing that to my kids.
I'll show my kids the original Dragon Ball series. I don't give a fuck.
But it's from the era, like, that Dragon Ball series is from the era where they didn't actually care about nudity at a high level.
And like
modern
Japan,
anime.
Because in Japan, you're allowed to draw anything you want. Like, I can draw some kid cutting a woman in half and raping the lower half of her dead body. That's all allowed in Japan. Like, or child pornography, it's allowed in Japan if it's drawn. Because it's not real.
It's just
it's
art.
not real.
Yeah. I mean, as an anime geek, like, I get really frustrated at some animes because, like, there's animes I really like, right? And the character trope I actually like is the tsundere. Problem is, guess what character design is tsundere?
She's not wearing much, is she?
No, it's not that. They're normally underage.
Oh, yeah.
They're normally really... They're designed to be like a 12, 15-year-old looking character.
Yeah.
It's like, I love the tsundere, but then, as a character, they're great. But then, a lot of animes I just turn off because I'm like, okay, now they've got the tsundere doing clothes fitting or some crap like that. I'm like...
Yeah. Well, Bulma wasn't very old, but she drove a scooter,
Yeah.
so you can take that any way you want. Maybe she was 16 or...
I think she was supposed to be 16 to 18.
Yeah. Which is funny because cause in Dragon Ball Z, she has arguments with Chi-Chi all the time about who's older.
And Chi-Chi's like a little tiny kid when you first meet.
Chi-Chi's like Goku's age when they meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, Dragon Ball. GT stuff.
Good. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
What do you mean, GT? Remember,
That's all you need to
never
know.
happened.
Alright, this week's big topic was suggested by none other than Modbro.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
You're welcome.
It's
And
me.
this will probably take up the rest of the show. And we're going to talk about gaming strategies, dealing with parents, wives, children, whatever. You know,
I've got the best strategy
Dealing with family.
by a lot.
dealing with family. So, you know, we all have responsibilities in our life, be it hold relationships with people or, you know,
Be it solo queue.
feed your kids every once in a while or some shit like that. Who wants to start this one off?
I don't know. Mod brought it up, so Mod can start off. You're breaking up, Mod.
He's and his camera's died. This was
Alright,
his-
so
this
someone
was-
else can start
this
it
was
off then.
This was his plan all along.
Alright,
He's
so
deliberately
you
making
start it
that
off.
up.
Go.
Alright, Tribal, on you.
Okay.
Alright, very well. So, gaming strategies for dealing with family. I mean, we've sort of gone over this a little bit for me. You know, I need to make sure I take time out to actually play with my kids and that because, you know, I don't. Otherwise, I will sit on a game for too long and things like that. The fact that ARCs come along and both my wife and I both play it means we can actually sort of do something together that's still gaming, which is good because even though we're both gamers, we play different games most of the time. Yeah, it is a lot about a balance, and I mean, I'm not sure if it's sad or good, but I've gotten my daughter into Pokemon now, so she's playing Pokemon Black, and despite the fact that every 2 seconds she's come to me saying, "I'm dying," and I'm like, "Have you trained your Pokemon?" No!
Go train your Pokemon.
Yeah, unfortunately she's taken the opinion of go train your Pokemon as go train every single Pokemon you have captured.
Oh.
So she currently has
she's
24 that she's
a
captured.
completionist.
No, she's currently caught 24 Pokemon, right? She keeps cycling them in and out of her party and is trying to train them all at the same time.
Wow.
And she's complaining that it's boring.
That's the way it is.
She's the
That's
best
how it has to
Pokemon
be.
player on the planet.
She is good.
And
She's a faker of Pokemon.
But because of that, she's like, she's not training them because she can't.
And she's getting stuck.
And then she's just getting her entire team just getting wiped out by a gym leader or something because she can't fight them because she hasn't trained them.
Yeah.
And you know, she's only 6, so she doesn't understand type advantage. She doesn't understand any along those lines. So
I think you need to start her off with the early ones because they get more complicated now. Like if you play freaking yellow, red, or blue, like or green, I guess if you have Asian ones.
Leaf green.
Yeah, well, yeah, but even then they added that's harder than the original. If you go back and play the original 3, it is considerably easier than what you think it is. It is so easy. Just get us. The strategy is get psychic, win game.
I was going to say, if she's 6 years old and doesn't understand type advantage or how to do Pokemon, I'd probably quit and start on another kid. Like, just give up.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe.
Yeah, see if Eric is the chosen one at the age of 4.
Just go, listen, I've given you all the love and guidance I can give you. You're obviously not picking up what I'm putting down. You're not eating from my menu.
You must find somewhere else to live.
No, the point is she can't read. Like, at the level needed for the game, she can't read that well.
I was only kidding.
For her age, she's actually very good reading. But, there's a lot of wording in Pokemon that is well beyond a 6-year-old's vocabulary. Well and truly. Yeah, a 6-year-old's vocabulary, words go up to 5 letters, and that's a hard word.
But
almost every Pokemon name is...
B-U-T-T-Z is her best word in her vocabulary.
But, that's sort of what I've decided to do. Like, when I was a kid, when I was 3, I had one of those old school, little tiny yellow tennis games that all you did was you moved your guy from one side of the screen to the other side of the screen and caught the tennis balls, which were dots coming along the screen.
Those games. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are good.
So, I know I enjoyed games as a kid, so I'm happy to introduce Kate. But that's how I sort of deal with having games in my family. I'm trying to introduce them to my kids.
Yeah.
Because
one day, I mean, probably won't be for a few years, but one day, you can turn on the console and be like, yeah, I want to play a bit of fucking whatever's out there. And maybe they brought out a Fallout co-op or some shit, and then Eric comes along and says, "Oh, Dad, I see you playing Fallout. Can I play too?" And you just pass him another controller, and you play with him.
Yeah, or something like that. I mean, we've got 2 computers, so we can do that for PC as well, I guess.
Yeah, maybe you get your kids some laptops or some shit.
Oh, I'm sure they'll eventually get one of some form. Yeah. I mean, I've only ever actually played one actual tabletop RPG, but the enjoyment I got out of it and what I see you can get from it, one of my plans is, once both my kids are old enough to understand something on that scale, I want to DM a game for them. I want to get something like, I'm pretty sure there's one called Mouse Hunt, which is a very basic system and things like that. And there's a few, I know there are a few, beginner, tabletop games that, I want to get my kids into.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
I guess, basically for me, dealing with family in gaming is more trying to get family involved in gaming, really.
Yeah.
Most of how I actually dealt with gaming in terms of interacting with family and gaming, I sort of explained in the prologue episode. So I don't know how much more I need to go into it here again.
No, that's right. I was just going to ask a few quick questions, if that's all right.
Yeah.
What was the earliest you introduced to gaming? Like, I might have cut out if you already covered that, but how old?
Kids.
No, kids.
Kids.
So 3, 4, playing those little games or iPhone apps or anything? What's the first thing they tried to interact with the technology?
My daughter was starting to interact with the Nickelodeon ones and the Disney ones on the computers at about 3 to 4.
That's cool. She'd get on to Dora, look behind the bush and you click on stuff, Safety Monkey, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. No, I'm actually asking for my benefit because I've got a child that we're not letting see a screen until she's 2, which is really hard.
I mean, my son now, he doesn't really play games except for a Furby game on my phone. Yep. Beyond that, most of what he does on a computer, if he gets it, is he will watch Fireman Sam or something like that. And he has enough understanding to find and click on the stuff, but he can't actually search for them. So, he'll go, "Hey, Dad, I want to watch Fireman Sam." So I've got to type in Fireman Sam for him and things like that.
Yeah, my nephew's my nephew's about 3, approaching 3.5, I guess. And he sees a lot of a screen. He was obsessed with phones when he first saw them because you push buttons and things happen and the screen lights up or whatever. And everyone talks about the kids, how amazing is it they just turn on a phone and they know your password somehow and they know which apps to access and whatnot. But I find it more interesting that monkeys can do that. Monkeys know where to find their favorite apps.
Yeah.
But he likes like Talking Tom and things like that. And my cousin, he's I guess he's getting a bit older now, but I think he's around 8. I think he's 8. And whenever I come over to his house, he's got the Xbox on, and he's asking me to come and finish this part of the game for him because he doesn't understand. It was a Spider-Man game, and it was a puzzle. He didn't know how to do the puzzle, and I said, "Oh, look at this, Christian. You see, you pick up this one, and then that door closes, which means this thing must be the thing that powers everything in this room. So you want to take this block and put it somewhere else, and you'll power something." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And there was another one. I was like, "Oh, well, look at what you got here, Christian. Here's a turret shooting the crap out of you, and it's shooting missiles that explode. Now, maybe if you stand behind these homing missiles, if you stand these homing missiles in the way of a shield that's blocking the thing you want to pick up, maybe the missiles will break the shield." Sure enough, bam, they broke straight away, and he knew what to do then. He picked the block up and put it somewhere else, and there. And so I don't know when the earliest was he was introduced to games, but I think it might have been another case of, he just keeps getting his hands on the mobile and, oh, look, I push buttons and things happen, blah, 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 blah. Oh, look at this. Whoa, look at that. What's this one? What's this one? What's this one? What's this one? Oh, shit.
My little girl's 11 months.
Oh, shit.
My little girl's 11 months, and she's worked out how to talk to Siri.
Oh, okay. Of
the 8 to 9 times she's got hold of a phone, she's worked out that if you hold down this button, you can now make requests to do things.
Yeah, I talk to Google. I got the Google app, and I go, "Okay, Google, how dumb is Mod Bro?" And it's popped up with "How dumb is my bro?" "Okay, Google, what is the 6th planet from the sun?"
Saturn is the 6th planet orbiting the sun.
There you go.
That's pretty impressive. Ask it what 0 divided by 0 is.
Okay. Okay, Google, what is 0 divided by 0?
According to Wikipedia, another way of looking at division by 0 is that division can always be checked using multiplication. Considering the 10/0ths example above, setting x equals 10/0ths. If x equals 10 divided by 0, then x times 0 equals 10, but there is no x that, when multiplied by 0, gives 10.
You're welcome, bro.
That was so awesome. That was the best thing I've ever heard in my life. That's great. No, I like
Maths.
that.
You got
Maths is
math.
great.
Okay. Alright. So, there you go. That's what happens when little kids get their fingers all over your phones. They become gamer geeks.
I wouldn't let my kids touch my phones.
So
they always got little icky hands.
So Tribal believes in slowly introducing your kids into video games, which I very much agree with.
Yeah,
and that's one.
Pretty scary.
Yeah, but there's also because I do the birthday parties for the kids at the ice house where I work, and like there are times when you'll see a kid and they will not go on the ice because they are playing Minecraft on their iPad, and I'm just looking at them like, you've got ice. All your friends are here. You have no other friends. You're like 5. Go out and skate, you fool.
I think that's where
shit costs money.
I think that's where slowly introduce them into it comes into effect. Like, sort of, play games with them, but also let them know, there's more than games out there. Like, hey, there's a freaking ice rink. There's your friends. Go play with your friends on the freaking ice rink.
By slowly introduce them, do you mean pick the chair up that they're on, take it onto the ice rink, have their whole friends form a conga line behind them, pushing along while they're playing Minecraft on their phone?
Well, you can kind
That
of
could be pretty cool.
do that at the ice house with those seal things.
You sure can.
They have these.
Do you want to plug your ice rink?
They have these.
Come down to Bo's ice rink.
They have seal. There you go, bro. There's a future job for you. You can own an ice rink. But they have these seals that they lay on their bellies, and they got their legs up in the air, and the legs are handles. so that
cool.
parents can take their kids on the ice and push their kids around on this seal.
And if you ever come to Medibank Ice House, do not hire those things. They're dangerous as hell. And they cost money. You're basically paying to kill your kid.
Oh,
they're like $5
same when I buy
a
my
half
daughter
now or
cigarettes.
something. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean,
Kids need cigarettes though. They need an authority figure, and the cigarettes give them that.
I just want to make sure that I'm taller than her.
okay, Geico Picks does not condone the use of cigarettes on children underage, or cigarettes in general. Just bringing that up.
Unless it's for burning them when they...
Who do you speak for, Tribal? Fucking hell.
I speak for avoiding legal action.
Gecko Picks don't support nothing. I'm
Look,
Gecko Picks.
If someone was stupid enough to give their kid a smoke, I don't even care. I'll go to that courtroom and I'll be like, this dumb bastard gave their kid a cigarette,
And he probably
and
gave
you
him
think
his
that they deserve my money.
Bo.
He gave him a cigarette and probably jeans to be that dumb as well. So that maybe...
No.
No, that's horrible.
Bo. You buy a pack of nuts, and it says on it, warning contains nuts. Do you know why that happened? Because some quid sued them because they claimed that they didn't realise it had nuts.
Well, look, here's the
So
deal.
the
I
fact
hate
that can be done.
So it's alright. I'm sure they wouldn't have won that legal argument. Come on. There is no one in this world that is dumb enough to say, I didn't know that nuts contained nuts.
I think they literally... you know what I reckon they did? I reckon they picked up a packet of nuts and went, doesn't say it contains nuts on it. I can make some money out of this.
Oh, yeah.
And then they nearly died and got money, though. So it was all
totally.
good.
But
reminds
people
me of my
manipulate the
favourite
system for a
lawsuit.
reason.
That's like jumping in front of a car and then being like, there were no fucking traffic lights or anything like that there. You know, there needs to be a pedestrian walking or a zebra crossing. Oh my god, give me some money.
I like money.
I also like money.
Yeah.
So,
That's my
anyway.
favourite lawsuit of all time. Someone crashing into an army truck and claiming they couldn't see it because it was camouflaged in the middle of the city, a giant green army truck, and they won the lawsuit on the definition of camouflage.
Oh my god.
okay, so Modbro was going to talk before his internet decided he was too cool to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does happen a lot.
So, Modbro, how do you manage games and family and
Well,
responsibility?
basically, for me, it's only game. I've got League of Legends, which, as you know, has 3 currency systems. You've got your IP, which is your influence points, which is earned in-game. Okay, so you play games to earn IP to buy characters. Then you've got RP, which is purchased out of game but collected in-game. And that's basically converting your money into currency in-game. And then you've got your BP, which is brownie points, which is earned out of game by being really, really good to your wife. So you go away and you do things. Like today I tidied in the lawn for a good 6 to 8 hours. And then I'm allowed to do a podcast. So...
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, us boys are all... Us men are all boys at heart. And these reward strategies generally work. So it's a good thing to do. Have you ever tried anything like that, Tribal?
Yeah, to the degree, to be honest, I tend to do a fair bit of the housework already.
Oh,
No, I just
don't
meant,
let the wife hear
like
that.
candlelight dinner or something like that. Something nice if you played games all night the night before and you sort of got in the bad books. You do something nice to get back to the good books.
Let me put it simply. I have a certificate for a massage.
Oh, he got it down pat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually did what with my girlfriend. It's not a wife, but with my girlfriend, we're currently living together in a house for whatever. What was it? I'm house sitting for some people, so we're living in the house together. And yeah, the other day I made her breakfast while she was sleeping, and then gave her the breakfast or whatever. That got me some serious brownie points. I'm not gonna let that one go for a week.
Oh my god!
I've already used it a couple times. I was like, oh, you want to make dinner for me tonight? And I'm like, oh, but I made you breakfast in bed the other day. And then she's like, oh, that's all right. I'll make you some food. And I'm like,
Oh,
That's called milking it for all it's worth, dude. Jeez.
damn straight. And I'm gonna milk that. I'm gonna milk that sucker.
no, that's what it's about. Like, no, I basically just wanted to talk about game strategies, but also, yeah, with children, it's a lot more fun because you get to do things like, I've never done this, but I've seen my brother do it. He's got his little bubby strapped to his chest, and while he's having a nap, he'll actually play a game of like ARAM or something, something he can walk away from. Like, he doesn't really care that much. But
I used to do that with some of my strategy games because they were turn-based. So I'd be sitting there. This is when I'm really young. And I'd have them across my arms, and I'd be sort of like this while they're sleeping across here. Because I'm trying to get them to sleep. I'm sort of doing this while I'm trying to play. But my wife actually has a photo of me that she claims is proof I can do two things at once. And it's me rocking my child while trying to read a book. It's literally me reading a book, like going like this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because that was like, I think, the second hour into me trying to get my daughter back to sleep at like 12 p.m. at night. I'm just like, fuck this. So I was just sitting there with a light on going, just go to sleep.
It's good fun, isn't it? The balance.
Oh, yeah. I'll be honest, I don't maintain the balance well, but...
No, I don't think anyone does.
Yeah, the kids tend to remind me that I'm not doing the balance well when they come in and annoy the absolute living shite out of me because they want attention, and I just go, I'm out. I'll go play with them because I'm just like, you guys are just going to piss me off anyway. I might as well actually play.
No, yeah, my work-life balance is about to go absolutely burko because while I was in Fiji, I was over there, we didn't have internet. So I walked up to the lobby where there was Wi-Fi, collected all my emails and just walked back down, got back into bed, looked at my Wi-Fi, and I'd been accepted into uni. So I was like, all right. So now I'm going to try and do full-time work with part-time uni, with a bubby, and we're selling our house at the moment. So,
oh yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah,
explosion erosion right there.
Yeah, my sister's in a similar boat to that at the moment. She either has or very soon will be giving birth to her third. She's finishing a physiotherapy course at the same time and still trying to work part-time.
Oh, Jesus.
I think she stopped working about 2 months ago, but she was hoping to actually be able to give birth over the holiday break so that she could continue her course. And she's like, I haven't given birth yet, and I'm still going to I think it's uni now. It was TAFE, but she upgraded to uni once she got through the TAFE ones.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how the fuck are you doing this?
It's because she is a woman and they are amazing things.
She's already got two. She's already got two she's looking after.
Yeah. Well, like, I could never do that because I believe it's because I am a male. And that's what I'm going to stick to.
I believe it's because I'm lazy as fuck.
Shh.
That's part of being a male, dude.
Use the excuse, you're a male. It works every time.
Truthfully, like, I keep trying to motivate me to do some game design or something. I have literally 4 fantasy stories semi-fleshed out that I could write the first 6 chapters to without any effort. I've just never got around to actually writing the damn things. I've got a lot of crap I've got sitting in my mind. I just never get around to actually doing it.
Have you thought about using your phone dictation devices? You can get apps for that.
Yeah, it still causes the problem of when am I going to do it? Am I going to be dictating a story while I'm walking to the bus?
I was going to say driving to work, but then I remembered you don't drive.
I catch a bus. I mean, if I could actually...
Yeah, that would be pretty weird, though.
But if I could
actually leave over and just start saying stuff over your shoulder, purple swollen turgid cock.
No, No, but I mean, like, I could get a laptop and type it, but the problem is I get motion sickness. So the second I start concentrating on something like that, I'm going to get sick as anything by the time the bus gets in. And, you know, it's just not worth it. That's why I listen to podcasts on my bus.
Yeah, podcasts are pretty awesome. I actually really enjoy podcasts. I think I listened to like 5 today while I was doing housework. Because you can just tune out and just... Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That was how I used to work. When I worked in the car yard, which I still do on Saturdays now because they asked me to come back. Because they had a woman working there and she left and I'm like, oh shit. Well, she wasn't very good anyway. Let's go call Victor again. Maybe he'll come back. So I'm back in the car yard every Saturday now. I'm finally making the moolah. Sold 2 cars yesterday. Sold 2 cars yesterday. Listening to podcasts all day. That's how I got through my work days because it was so painfully boring and you go from one job to the other and they were all small things, but you did it just because that's the job, you know. I don't complain about it. One in each ear and podcasts. And someone walks in, take it off, talk to them, they leave, back in, podcasts, work.
I mean, my job actually has a lot of data entry along the lines of it. And it's basically just literally read and type, read and type, read and type.
Yeah.
I listen to podcasts then sometimes. I mean,
I was going to say, do you ever accidentally like type in like Tom Kench?
No.
You know, like start typing characters' abilities and that, and you're like, oh,
there's been occasion.
When I had to, because I was just starting to do a bit of advertising, before I lost my job into when I got it back. I used to do a lot of advertising, and that was not a good time for me to listen to podcasts. And when I do writing or anything like that, I can't podcast then. I can only listen to lyricless music. That's all. That's what I would listen to when I had to type, when I had to think, when I had to write. That's when I listened to lyricless music. But music with lyrics and podcasts is what I did when I did mindless jobs, because it was all very mindless stuff. Because if I'm writing or I'm typing, doing the advertising or whatever, trying to work out what to say, or I'm writing down information about the cars so I can put it on my computer and then put it on Gumtree or whatever.
Yep.
You know, it'd be harder for me because I'd be trying to block out the podcasts while I was doing it, and then I wasn't getting in. Then what was the point of listening to the podcasts? I could listen to the music, and the music relaxes me, and I work better.
There has been times where, when I'm doing data entry, I've had to just turn off the podcast because either the podcast has gotten interesting enough that it might delay my job, or I've come across something that I'm not actually fully aware of or don't fully understand, so I've got to think about how I'm writing it. Like, I'm copying it, but it's like, you know, this is medical terminology. So, you know, it could be like leiomyosarcoma, and I'm like, how the do I spell leiomyosarcoma? And crap like that. So, you know, I mean, I know how to spell that because that comes up often now, but, you know, there's a lot of terminology that actually becomes quite unusual, or you get into like all the, the chemotherapy drug names. Oh, you've no idea. It's like 20 frickin' letters long of this multi-type chemotherapy for this specific thing. You're like, and then they're like, oh yeah, it's just called AC. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that before? I just wrote this frickin' 20-letter long bullshit. Because like tamoxifen, carbotaxol, blah blah blah. You know about yeah.
Well,
that's not fun at all.
You look pretty frustrated, Tribal. I mean, I won this $50 voucher the other night. I mean, you can have it if you want. It's for a relaxing bra fitting in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, you'll be the best hostess.
Oh, darling, totally.
You can get your girls together.
Hostess with the most.
Well, that's what the bra's meant to do, isn't it?
Come on, I'm probably about an acre.
Get on my level, brother.
I'm happy to stay my level, thank you.
Yeah, when I was telling people about that fucking voucher, like, I was like, oh yeah, so I can work out my size finally, and they went, you're an A. And I'm like, how dare you? You don't know that.
I mean, I've actually got pecs. Like, I'm not, I'm fat enough to have something there, but yeah.
Do you remember the episode of Trinity Force podcast where they were talking about practicing, and DeClaude was like, "Oh yeah, I used to think all the time how bad I wanted to make my titties bounce."
Yeah, I remember that.
Because he couldn't.
I think they're going to do a T-shirt for it or something.
I don't know, but they were like titties. What? And he meant his pecs, but he couldn't remember the name of it. I had a shower for the first time in a million years, believe it or not. I had a shower when I had my shower last night. I was looking in the mirror, and I went, boop, 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 boop. And I was like, "Holy shit, I can do it!" And I sat in the mirror for 10 minutes trying to fucking make them bounce. And I was like, "Oh,
gee!" Everyone can do it.
And I was like, "Oh my god, I don't need giant masterpiece fucking pecs to be doing this."
No, yeah, you just have to figure it out. It's hard to figure out, though. I could never figure it out.
Once you do it, because it just sort of, I was just sort of looking in the mirror, and it kind of twitched, and then once I felt the muscle, I kind of worked out how to pull on it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I've got various muscles in my face I can move randomly. Like the most common one I've got is.
Yeah, everyone's got that.
But I directly below my eyes, I can actually move the muscle at the bottom of my eyelids. And oddly, I can move my ear, but it moves half my face in the process. I'm not quite sure how I did that. It's like I seem to pull a muscle from here all the way back to my ear and make my ear shift up and down.
That's really weird.
But yeah, I've found random muscles.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't show it off here and now anyway.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we manage our personal lives with video games.
By being
moving out ears.
No, we've got to get back to the original point, and it would be Chiefs versus 4.5 players from Kaboom. Brazil is on the equator, and you lose about 1 player. You're welcome.
So that's the main point of
Kaboom will probably
of the day.
win.
There you go.
Everything from that point till now has been stalling until I worked out how to use the internet to find out if Brazil was on the equator or not. You're welcome, Australia.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mod Bro. You are legendary.
And now for something completely different.
Now for something actually related.
Alright, so next week we're going to have a chat about gay marriage.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Yes, we will.
Not next week, no.
But
last week we'll have.
Last week we'll definitely be having a chat.
If anybody has any thoughts on it, send them in to some guy who cares, and we'll talk to you then.
We still have that Twitter account.
We do have that Twitter account. It's getting followed too.
You know why? Because it's just the fucking name. People will just follow it
Yeah.
because of the name. And they'll tweet to you like, "Oh, my wife broke up with me," or some shit like that.
Gonna grab my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight.
And that sounds like it.
Damn it, Bo! You always mess it up.
I never mess it up.
Say the line.
What?
We're actually ending the show.
Apparently, Mod seems to be trying to.
Because we're only 15 minutes past the hour mark.
It's a short show for once, which is surprising.
Isn't that okay?
It's
supposed to be an hour, remember that?
Yeah, that was...
Actually...
I decided afterwards it'd be an hour and a half, but no, I'm happy with finishing it. I kind of want to play
Before we go any further, as I'm sure... Well, it's been mentioned before, but not in the podcast. Yes, there is 1 to 2 furries on here when the second furry actually ever bothers to turn up. Some people have had questions about it. If you guys do have questions, there is a plan for us to actually discuss the furry subculture, what it is, etc. at some point soon. I can't promise when. But if you have questions, send them through to us. Give us some talking subjects.
Yeah. And I imagine that show will be tribal. I think Mod would be good to have on that show because he's got that good little curious mind. He's always got a question to ask.
I've got about 3 right now, just because
I won't rock up for that one though, because that'll be me done. My life. If there's anything I can't get into it's furries. I can't do it. It's weird.
Every subculture is different,
You know
mate.
what furries is?
Yes, I have seen them. I've seen only the hardcore, really creepy ones though, and
Which is entirely separate from mate. Well,
I know.
It's the same as seeing like the Trekkies that are completely absolute Trekkies. You know, the extremists are not the representation of the main.
Yeah, but anyway, this is not the furries episode. We'll be having the furries episode. I'd like to plan in 2 weeks. How's that sound, Tribal?
Hopefully, yeah.
I'd like to plan in 2 weeks, and we might be getting some cool guests on, maybe one.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, I'm in discussion with a furry podcast to see if we can get someone on who's part of the subculture a bit more than I am, and since we can never get ranked to actually be here.
You and Scott are fairly, you're a little bit more disconnected from it now than you used to be.
Yeah, I was part of it like 8 years ago.
Yeah. And, and Scott's always trying to explain to people, no, we don't dress up in furry costumes to have sex with each other, you foolish bastards.
Yeah,
that's the stuff I want to do.
That's what I thought it was.
No. First off, to just put a simple point, those costumes cost over $1,000. You don't want to be destroying them in something like that.
Mass orgy.
How do you spell it? Is it just
furry?
We'll talk about it after the show.
We'll talk about it after the show.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
As a side note, if you want to come see us, we are now on the Harbinger server.
Oh, yes, on SWTOR, me and Bo have moved our characters over to Harbinger. We've always been on Bastion. If you want to play with us...
We're going to have a chat with that. We're going to have a chat with that on a show, though. Aren't we?
Yeah, we will. We're gonna start up a new SWTOR show, everyone.
Actually, that said, if you guys play ARC, then you may find me occasionally on the Primitive PvE server, official server 447. I won't be on often, but I jump on there occasionally, so...
Yep.
Yeah, if you
and
play
we
Ark
will
Survival,
always be on SWTOR, so if you ever want to talk to us for whatever reason, my name is very female. Every character is a female, so if you see a female, it's probably me.
Yeah.
I'm still Tribal Mind on that server for Ark, so...
Well, because of the way MMOs work, you have 20 characters with 20... and you got a different name for all of them. The easiest way to find me is to add Victor Pradley on Imperial.
Yeah, and mine will probably at some point be Kailaru, but at the moment it's Babala.
But SWTOR does this thing in the friend adding system where you add someone and they'll appear on your friends list straight away, but it won't alert that person you've added them. So if you do actually want us to add you back, you gotta whisper us if we're online.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll make a guild and stuff. We'll do all that stuff.
Yeah, we wanna put together a guild and whatever, but we need numbers. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to the All Random All podcast.
That's a wrap.